To my channel. This is called Renderite, and I've started this channel as a branch off of my business called Renderite, and I specialize in architectural visualizations in New Zealand. I've been working using Twinmotion for about 5 years now, before Epic took over it. So yeah, I have been following Epic along with their journey of the transition, and they have done massive updates to Twinmotion over the years. So yeah, I have decided to create a tutorial. This will be based on path tracing in Twinmotion. So I have my ArchiCAD file here. We'll get into it now. So I have my ArchiCAD file here. I'll go File, Save As. I'll look for FBX file here. In ArchiCAD 27 they give you the ability to export as a FBX file. So I'll select that. They don't have DataSmith file yet, but that is coming hopefully at the end of the year. So select that. I'll just call this Twinmotion path tracing, and I'll just save that to my desktop. On mesh purposes, I'm gonna select one mesh per element. I tried it before with one mesh per surface, and it was a bit difficult to change the material, so I'm just going to export that, and then I'll come over to Twinmotion. I've already got my file here. I've got my starting base. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Now I'll go down here to import, click the plus, import, open, navigate to my file, which is here. Open. I'm just going to click full precision normals. It does put more strain on your GPU and memory, but I like to have the full precision normals for reflections, etc. So I'm just going to do that for this sake, for path tracing. And I'm going to keep both the materials for now. I can cull the materials out that I don't need later on. So I have my Twinmotion file right here. I am going to just select my landscape and bring my landscape up just to be in line. I'll just go ahead and start changing some materials. So on the left hand side here I've got a search bar, so I'm just going to type in grass, let that load. I will just find a grass material that is decent. I like to use the lush grass material here, so I'm just going to change my material selection. So I'm going to apply to object. So I'll just select my lush grass and put it on there. Now as you can see, the scale of the grass is a bit too small, so I'm going to go ahead and also adjust that. Select my dropper here, select my material, scroll down to scale. I'll change it to about, I don't know, 1.25, give that a go. That's probably alright for now. I've got my driveway here, so I'm just going to go ahead and look for a gravel. So just search gravel up here. I usually use one of the Megascans options, so I'm just going to select this gravel ground here and give that a go, apply that. I've applied it here. I'm going to reduce the scale to... Do I reduce the scale? I might just leave the scale for this one actually, and then I'm going to come over here, select a concrete, So I'm just going to find a nice concrete to use. I'll just use this poured concrete for here. And then I'm going to go and change this concrete in here. I'm just going to use this poured concrete because it's quite similar. Increase the scale, try 1.5, 1.85, maybe even bigger, maybe 2.5. That's better. And then I'm just going to go through and apply. As you see, I can choose to change this to replace material, but just for this specific task I'm just changing these individually. For something like the glass, I can go and select materials, glass, change this to replace material, and then replace the glass that way. So I'm getting my scene set up here now quite nicely. Let's turn Path Tracer on here. So already, as you can see, we're getting some nice effect coming in here. It's looking good already. We haven't even changed any of the materials inside yet, so we will go ahead and start doing that. Just a second here, I'm going to change the material on the roof. So I like using the surfaces metal bare, and something like a brushed aluminium steel will work. So just go ahead and do that. Select the color, change it to black. Just to give it that sheen. Maybe that's a little bit too black. Lighten it up just a little bit. And my gutters here are a different color, so I'll apply that same color to those. And you'll get this effect from ArchiCAD that some of the faces won't be visible. So you just scroll down to the bottom of the brushed material that I've applied here. You'll see an option called Misc. Select that, and then you've got two-sided. So click that, and it'll enable double-sided material. That also enables shadows, so that they work. So again, we'll just keep going. Might start changing the exterior timber color. I'm just going to use a Twinmotion material for this one, something like we'll try a chestnut. It's a bit too dark for me. Might go maybe an olive, and then lighten it up a little bit. Something like that. Maybe we can change the interior for plywood interior. So I've just searched plywood. We've got a few options. Plywood panels. Just have a look. Yeah, no, that's not ideal. Might try something like that. I'll see. Let's have a look. I'm just changing the interior individually because if I select change all, it will change the exterior that I selected as well. but it's not a biggie, there's not much to change, so we can just go through and apply these materials quickly. Nearly done here. It's looking quite nice actually, I think. There we go, and then it's looking good. There we go. So we've applied our materials, our plywood materials now. As you can see, I'm just going to select our brushed steel material and I'll apply that to our joinery and also to my ladder in here. Also, this file here is available to download for free from my Sketchfab account. I have a range of models on there that people can download and use and alter to your own liking. So I'll put the link in the description, and yeah, it'll be available for you down there. You can also like and subscribe for future videos and tutorials, as I'll be releasing some weekly. So yeah, cheers. As we continue, we will start adjusting some more of these materials. I'm just going to change the carpet here. I like to use a plush carpet material, or this one's quite nice too, I think, if I bump the scale up. Maybe a wool. Just something that looks, you know, realistic but not too fake kind of thing. Like that looks quite nice from a distance. Maybe I'll just increase the scale a bit more. Maybe go 9. Maybe even a bit more. Let's go 10. Cool. I've noticed that I still just need to apply material to that. There we go. Now we'll apply our material to the floor. I like to use the Megascans ones. They have some nice floor materials, but it's hard. You gotta look quite a lot for something that's quite decent. You know what I mean? You just got to do a lot of searching to find a decent material and play around with the settings to get it to look right per job. So like right now I'm just trying to find, I might use the stack bond chestnut. That's a decent one. Let's wait for it to load here. Something to lighten it up a bit. Reduce the scale. Something like that looks quite nice. And now you can see the scene is starting to shape up. We've got materials on the floor, the walls, the joinery. We've got the glass in now. So piece by piece, you slowly go through and start changing things out, and it'll just eventually fold into place. Okay, we've got these objects here. I am going to delete those. I'm going to start applying some materials to my kitchen. just some brushed stainless steel will look quite nice in here, I think. Also for the fridge and the oven and these handles here. So there we go. For something like this basin, I'm going to use a ceramic. That works good. It gives it a good reflection. And the white it just looks nice. Just waiting for it to load. So I've got ceramic base here. I use the ceramic base mainly for sinks, bowls, stuff like that. Just got that. Cool. Now we're getting somewhere. Might add some ceramic tiles here. If you scroll down to UV rotation, I'll just rotate that to be 90 degrees. I'll also increase the scale, something like maybe even bigger, something like that. Change the color. I'm going to go white, just keep it simple. And there we go. Cool. So we've applied our materials for our kitchen now. Start applying some external materials. So now we're just going to change the wood decking texture here. So I like looking for ones in the Twinmotion library. They're quite good, just for decking. Might try this one. We'll give it a go. See how it goes. You've also got these options here under details. So if you go down here, you've got saturation, gamma, lift, and gain. So you can also play around with these. As you can see, it's adjusting. Maybe just something like that. The only reason I'm going around and doing these individually is because I have... Oh, I don't actually think I need to. I can change it here and click replace material. Voila, it has changed it throughout. Okay, so we have our model. I've also got all my trees here, which I can click on, and these are... Might have to select these individually, but I can select all of them. I'll just delete those trees there. Oops, that. Just delete that as well. So I've got my scene set up here. I'll go ahead and just start placing some trees. Okay, so I've placed some trees here. I'm going to go up and start setting up my camera angles. So you have all your settings on the right hand side here. You've got environment, camera, render, effects, and image. So I'm going to start off with setting up my I might go with a wide kind of 15mm effects. You can enable parallelism here, so it just makes all straight angles, all straight lines here with the camera. So if I turn the composition overlays on here, select grid, you can see that if I line the corner of the building up over here, it's in line. If I turn it off, for example, over on this corner here, it's not in line. So if I turn it on, it'll just align everything perfectly. So I'll go ahead and set up my camera. So I just click on environment and I go through, scroll down to the bottom, you've got HDRI environment. I'll probably use one of these and enable a backdrop HDRI to create a background. To adjust the settings for the HDRI, you can scroll down to details. So I'm just going to adjust the size. Just adjust the size to suit your scene. Something like that. As you can see, it looks quite dark at the moment, but we'll go through the settings shortly and adjust the lighting. So what I did there was just enhance the sun intensity, change it from 0 to 2. That creates some shadows with the HDRI. So I'm just going to rotate my HDRI to try and get, some decent angles. Cool, so I'm going to go through and start applying some vegetation to the ground, some grass. I'm just going to select lawn 01 for this, with the density all the way up, and then reduce the diameter of the brush. I'm just going to start painting just some grass. In the Twinmotion public roadmap, there is a smart grass feature that will be coming to Twinmotion in the future, which would speed up the process of applying grass to the scene. As you can see, it's a tedious thing to do. But you only have to apply grass in the areas of where your camera will see it. So we'll have a look. You can see the areas of where we've placed some of the grass at the moment. the grass dry, it just blends the grass in with the material a bit better. I'm just going to go and turn the composition grid off just to view a bit better. Now I'm going to go through and place some bushes. So I'm just going to go and put some more variations of some trees in here. And then so as you can see, it's starting to shape up pretty nicely. It's quite dark in these rooms where we can go in and put some light sources in there to brighten those up. Just setting up the path tracing settings, so samples per pixel, something like this. I usually go 12, 56, and 12 bounces. With the aliasing filtering, I lower that to 1.5. In effects, you've got filter. You can scroll down to light line effect, put that on, and it just punches those lines out a bit more on the claddings and roofing. So while the vegetation is downloading, I'm just going to put some light sources in here. I'll just use an area light for these. Just reduce the length and width. Reduce the intensity. It's going to put to 100 and turn shadows on. So as you can see, it's already changed a lot. It's brightened that room up quite a bit, and it's just added that sense of realism. So I've gone ahead and done the same thing in this bedroom, just added another area light source. Same thing in this room. Might do two, so I'll just have this one and one more here. I'm just going to create another image and then reduce the settings of this image to low, just to get a preview. You can even do medium. So that's looking pretty good. I might put, I'll just fix the grass over here quickly. There we go. And I've got my own user library of vehicles and stuff here. Over time I've just created more and more and put them together just to populate my scenes. So this is starting to look really nice now. I'm going to add some things into the bedroom, so I'm just going to quickly add a bed. Bed. So that's probably good enough. And then in here I'm going to put a sofa in here. Fine. I'll just find another one. Might use this one, possibly. Yep, I'll just use this one. Now I'm just looking for a TV to use. Just wait for it to load. I don't know, something like that, I guess. Let's have a look. There we go, nice, see? Got the bed in here, our sofa in the lounge room there. I'm just going to add some light in this hallway there, and I think we're nearly done. So for that, I'll probably... Actually, I might just grab this area light again and bring it in here, just to make it quite easy. Simplify it. Do some rotating. There we go. Let's have a look at that. That's nice now. Cool. Now let's just see if our vegetation has downloaded. So wait for this to load. The European spindle works very nice for residential jobs. I like it a lot. So again, this model is free to download in the link in the description. I've created this one myself, so you are able to download it and alter it to your liking. Use it in your jobs, whatever you want to do. I'm happy. So I have my European spindle here. Just going to lower it into the ground a little bit, and then just create multiple copies, maybe 20. I'll give that a go. See, that's too many, and that's a little bit too many. It would be good if Twinmotion had a feature that when it created multiple copies over this length, that there was an option for random rotation, because right now you've currently got to go through and do something like that. You can also make 4, alter each rotation, and then copy that over the length of the deck, but just for this I'm just going to create a few like that and randomly rotate them. Now let's have a look. You can have it either way. You could do 2 different variations if you want, create one image with one with the plants and one without. So yeah. I'm just going to continue and run some plants this way. Like so. Same thing, I'm just going to randomly rotate just to give it that variation or randomness, something like that, I guess. Just playing around. Go ahead and play with some of the tint if you want. Maybe lighter. Yep. Well, there you have it. So now I've got that set up. I'm gonna render off a 4K image, so I'll change this to 4K for the output size. You'll find this under image. So I've got my image here. I'm just going to rename it. I'll just call it final. Call it that one. Go back to the render settings here. Oh, no, this one was final, sorry. So I'm just going to delete that. Come here. And my settings are already done. That looks good. Change this to 4K. That's fine for now. I do a save before I render, just in case of a crash, but it usually doesn't happen. So if you want, you can add some depth of field into your scene, but for these residential renders, that's not really needed. You can add some smog or fog to the background, which is the height fog here. So if you turn that all the way up, you can see the fog effect. But I might just put that to something like 30. Or 50. There we go. Okay, so we'll render this one off. We go export, scroll up to the top here, you've got image, click the plus button, it'll bring up your images. I'll rename this one final. Come over to image, Ultra HD, details. If you want to go beyond, higher resolutions with lower GPU costs, you can select the tiled rendering, which is down here. That's pretty cool. You can get some pretty good looking images out of that, but it does affect the quality of certain things. As you can see, it's got the quality of SSR, SSAO, GI, lens flare, depth of field, and bloom is affected. So I'm just going to leave that though. I'll click here, export, select my image, final, go to details here. I'll leave it as a PNG, refinement high, and max lighting. After that's done, you just click start export, find a location to save it to. I'll just call this final, select folder. And now that will start to render. So our render is complete. I'm just going to go ahead and minimize Twinmotion and go to the folder that I just saved it to. Double click and there we go. Now that's pretty decent for, I don't know how long that took, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And there we go. So thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed the video. If you like to keep up to date with all my videos and tutorials, just like and subscribe. And yeah, cheers.